Uh,
So we're gonna go. I'm good now. You
all
there?
right.
Can you see me?
I can see you, but can you hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
can
Can you
see.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't. You can't see me. I'm here on
I
the
can. I
screen.
see
So,
you. I
oh,
see
okay.
you.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow using procurement, program, and control. I'm this man, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Hello, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Estelle.
Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, folks, sorry for being a little late. We're having some technical difficulties here. When we try to do things good, sometimes the man chips in and try to interrupt things. So, Crystal,
Yes.
how you doing?
Hello. Can you hear me? I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. How's your week been?
Oh man, it's been a crazy week for me. It's a crazy good week because I've been working with a lot of small businesses, helping them with certifications, helping them to get their back office set up. So that's pretty much what I've been doing all week, working with small businesses. How about you?
Same business. I've had, I think I taught two workshop webinar. Well, I did, yeah, two webinars last week. One on business processes, and also on what else did I do? On bank loan readiness.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
and
that was
you
my
you 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 did some work with the Women's Business Center also,
yeah. I'm
right?
teaching with the Business Center, and I'm also teaching with Vermont Slauson this
Oh,
year.
very good, very good.
Yeah, so
Well, we're supposed to be starting some work there by February 1st. So I'm sure you and I will be doing some workshops over there we've got about 40 small businesses.
yeah, we do. Yeah, I've been doing, they rolled out a new well, actually the LA County Community Development, I think, rolled out some new a new loan, and it's a loan for stabilization for companies. And
Yeah.
so I taught this week on I had already last week spoke, let me see, what did I speak on? I spoke on bank loan readiness the week before, but we kind
Hmm.
of did a little something different, and myself and Terry Gubatan, we actually did it together, so that was pretty cool. Enjoyed that.
Mm.
And so that was what we were doing.
Well, that's a great segue into what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to have class in session. We're going to do
Yeah.
bank loan readiness and get small businesses ready for this PPP loan and any other type of loan or financial line of credit or anything like that for their business. So today, between you and I, Crystal, we're going to put our heads together and be able to walk small businesses through a process that they most often are afraid of. So we're going to help them out today.
Right, exactly. And it is so funny because, when I was teaching the other day, it is actually a milestone for a business to be able to be in a position where they can they can be bank loan ready, but it does take time, and it does they have to do some things to make sure that they are ready. It's just not going to be something that's just going to take place all by itself.
Yeah, and it
So
doesn't happen overnight either.
um it does not happen overnight. Actually, you and I both know if businesses were already set up that way, then it wouldn't be a problem, right? But a
Exactly.
lot of times the businesses are not set up that way. So that's why it becomes an issue for
Hmm.
individuals. It's
Yeah.
that they're not ready. They You know how it is, and I think
Right.
more people found out this year, or last year during COVID, how unprepared that they really were.
Yeah. That's true.
And
That's true.
and so with that, but they should be better prepared now than they were in 2020.
They should be, and I hope they take this whole COVID process as a learning experience instead of feeling really bad about it because of the COVID and relief that is being offered. There's a lot of checks and balances and compliance requirements that they've been asked, the government's been asking for, or the lenders. So this should help to prepare many small businesses so that they can become even more business ready and bank loan ready. Um, the good thing about it, Crystal, is that you and I we're gonna be holding their hands and guide them through this process. So they're not gonna be left alone out there, unlike other environments. We're gonna guide them through this process. And today, what we want to do is to walk them through an assessment process that really show them how to be prepared and how to get ready for the lending.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's some of it well, let me see. If they started businesses out the way it was supposed to, having a business plan and that kind of stuff, then they would be in a different position.
Hmm.
But of course, they're halfway there if they have a business plan, if they're actually spending, if they have an accounting system, if they have all of that going on. But before we jump right on into it, this has been an interesting week for us politically. Oh,
Yeah.
Biden,
Yeah.
he's had his moments where, oh my God, the whole COVID thing is just on a
Yeah.
whole nother level right now,
Yeah.
and
Well,
we've lost.
I kind of knew, Crystal, that the previous administration was doing some funky stuff. I kind of feel that they were hiding all the information. They were not being transparent, and it just came to pass that that's what they were doing.
Yeah, a whole lot of funky stuff was going on, huh?
Yeah, a lot of funky stuff. And we knew it. It was, it was apparent from their behavior. That's not what they're going to be doing. You remember you said it before. You said all of the key information is going to be buried in the bottom drawer, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Everything, all the COVID stuff, all the administration stuff, buried in that bottom drawer and hidden away.
Yeah, buddy. And
See,
it's
you
so
said it
funny.
though. You said
The
it. You knew they were going to do that, Crystal. You knew it.
Because I have come into companies that the individual that was in before I was there was
Yeah,
not doing what they were supposed to, and I've had to come in and recreate and redesign, and I knew it. I told you, and I'm sure Biden knew that as well.
yeah,
He knew what he was going to be encountering when he got there.
right, right.
Yeah, because it's much uglier than we thought.
Oh yeah, much. They thought, first of all, they thought they had supplies. That was wrong. There was none. Secondly, they thought stuff was ordered. That was wrong. Nothing was ordered, so there's no vaccine or anything available, man.
No
It's like
vaccine available.
it's like you buying a business, Crystal. You're buying a business from somebody else, and you in the prep meeting, they say, "Oh yeah, we got financials for the last 7 years. We got our business plan. We got performance reports. We got all this stuff." And then after you pay for the business and paperwork exchange, and now you got the business, you start finding out that none of those things are there.
Right. And he had to do, I mean, so much you have, first of all, COVID is ravaging, just literally ravaging our country, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is just such, hey Greg, how are you? It is such a bad place right now. Um, you got that. You have um the insurrection, which
Yeah,
now, of course, the Republicans are all of a sudden going backwards.
yeah,
They are like, come on, let's unite the world.
yeah, yeah. And all of us,
And then
they
go
claim
ahead.
that all of us are responsible for what happened. Did you hear that? They said everybody in
Yes,
America
yes,
has
we're in
something.
the
I'm going, what? That is crazy,
But
man.
on top of that, right, exactly. But on top of that, Gilbert, they're also saying that this was pre-planned. So we knew they had gotten tours of the Capitol, but
Yeah.
today I think it came out that the pipe bombs were actually put in place the week before.
Wow.
So
Wow.
so so that's an issue. So this is a premeditated insurrection.
Yes, yes, yes. And how did they get past security with all of that?
Oh, because security was part of them.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting, 2 weeks before, they actually went to a training camp. The Oath Keepers, as they call themselves, the Oath Keepers
Mm-mm-mm.
had a military style training camp.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so with that, so we got that going on. So we literally, and still we have takeover going on from some clowns that are in the GOP. So they are
Yeah,
actually trying to take over from the inside. We have
yeah.
become Venezuela.
They they said it's the enemy within, right? The enemy on the inside. That's what's going on there, man. That is crazy.
Right. Them crazy.
The him said them the crazy people. Hey Greg, we hear you. We hear you, Greg.
Them crazy people, boy, they wearing us out.
That's exactly how the Jamaicans say it, right? Them the crazy people, man.
So
Them
them
crazy, you know.
crazy people. So what was that? So we got that. We have insurrection. We
Yeah.
have the economy, and then I don't even understand what the hell is happening all of a sudden with Robin Hood and GameStop.
Yeah, what's up with that? Do you think they're trying to stick it to the man? I think that's what they're trying to do,
Well,
stick it to the man.
I think what happened I think what happened was that um, Robinhood is a platform more for you and I,
Yeah,
more for the regular guy, right?
yeah,
Because I have a Robinhood account, and it's so easy to actually buy a stock and track it. It's just simple, right?
yeah,
And no big deal. But the
yeah.
big guys, the ones that have hedge funds of accounts, the ones that have brokers, they were in Robinhood deciding that they were going to bet against GameStop,
Oh.
and they called in they called in their shorts on their
Mm-mm-mm.
buys or whatever they call it, and so they were going to make some money on it. But
Yeah,
then some young millennials that are in Reddit said, "No, we ain't going to do that." So
yeah,
then they start building it up, and then Robinhood said, "You know what? We're not having these kind of games going on in our platform."
yeah,
And so they just cut it short. So that means all those big investors start losing big time money because they were betting against. They were trying to and they were starting to sell their stock.
yeah,
So, and it was at its high. They pushed it up really high, and
yeah.
then they started to pull the money out.
You
And
know what?
Robinhood said, "No, you can't trade."
You know what? I kind of like that though, Crystal. I kind of like it because I don't like big bullies and big monopolies, you know? And those guys control the market all the time. They make decisions for us even when we don't want it. They make decisions against us. So I'm kind of glad that the little man kind of stuck it to them.
Yeah, the little man kind of stuck it to him. That's what it is. That Robin Hood. That's the
Yeah,
name of the platform,
Robin
Robin
Hood.
Hood.
See, they're living up to their name, Robin Hood, man. They're living up to their name. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I wonder if Greg knows
So,
anything about this. Does Greg have any information on this? Hey, Greg, do you have
Greg, you
anything
know anything about the stock market?
about Robin Hood and all those oligarchs?
so we gotta. So for once, the little man came out on top,
I love
and
it.
and
I
and that's
love
a
it.
good thing.
I
So
love it,
so the
man.
so so the big guys are all pissed off. Mark, what's the guy
Zuckerberg.
that owns these? Yeah, no. The guy that owns the San Antonio, the basketball team. Is the basketball team?
Oh, the
Mark
Spurs.
Cuban. Mark
Oh, Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban.
Yeah,
He was all upset. All of them all upset.
yeah. I love them to be upset. Yes. I say, no man, I'm just a ragamuffin. All right, man. All
Oh,
right.
so those were that's all the drama been going on this week, and on top of the fact, now we got a double mask it to keep from, and then we got strands coming in from London, we got
Yeah,
strands coming in from South Africa.
yeah. That's
Lord have
crazy.
mercy, Jesus.
That's crazy. But see, Johnson and Johnson came up with, their vaccine saying that it's 72% effective against the corona virus 19. But as far as the new variant is concerned, it's only 52% strong against that. So people are going, I don't know, I don't. And then
Yeah.
you only have to take one dose instead of two. You know?
Right, but it's not as effective as the
No,
two
it's
dose.
not. It's not. It's
So
not.
then so then that doesn't mean anything. Oh, but how about this one, Gilbert? The rich couple, the billionaire couple that flew to some little out of the way um post that was in Alaska and pretended to be hospitality servants so that they could jump in line to get their vaccine.
See, that only goes to show, man, these privileged people, man, they will do anything to stay in the front of the line. Anything. That is so crazy, man.
This has been I am reading a book and it was referred to me on another platform that I'm on, and it's called The Difference, and it's about a guy that is an efficiency um he's an efficiency consultant, and he goes into big companies and he helps them rethink how they do business and to become more quality effective, making sure on their quality control, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And he says the work world that we live in right now is one that his motto is good is not good enough,
yeah,
because you know if you are only doing a half job,
yeah,
or if you look at it's the work ethics. The work ethics has changed from
yeah.
you when you and I started working,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And people are only giving their half,
Mm.
or I think also the country since 2016 has gotten to a place where they don't really care. They have no morals.
Yes.
They have no work, no ethics.
Mm-hmm.
um Narcissism is at an all-time high.
Yeah. It's morally and ethically corrupt, man. Morally and
Yeah,
ethically.
because I mean, they literally had to think that through. Where do I go in this world where I can go? Well, nobody will detect
Yeah.
that I'm coming in and sneaking in to get my vaccine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the hell with everybody else.
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You
Unbelievable.
can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make it up. Oh man, if someone were to tell you this, you'd say, "Oh, it's a movie script." you know, this is crazy. Hey,
Right, you're right.
Veronica.
This is something. It's insane.
Yes,
Veronica
yes,
said we have to keep our immune system strong.
if we
We
want to
do.
take.
We have to become very strong.
Yeah, I agree, Veronica.
Yeah, it's gonna be important.
Yep, got to do that. Got to,
Yeah.
I take something called what the heck is this? Uh, gosh, I can't remember it, but it's a powder. It's a powder, green powder that you can put in your
Oh,
juice. You can put it in juice, or you could put it on your food. It's yeah. Starts with an M, I
oh,
think.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it,
Yeah.
yeah, my nephew takes it to, is it
Yeah.
it's not MAGA, it's
I can't.
something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So you use that?
Yeah, I use that, and that helps your immune system. It helps your whole body, as a matter of fact. So that's what I do.
Okay, okay.
So I hope it.
Yeah, I do vitamin D. Well, I have obviously I'm out in the sun, and so I get my vitamin D. Um, he said I'm doing a Google search to find the local witch doctor right now. That's on Craig. um,
It may take you a while to find that one, Greg.
I also take airborne. I That's like part of my daily requirement is
Yeah,
airborne in the first thing in the morning, and then of
yeah,
course now you're masking up. And I try not to go outside that much.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's it.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely. All
So these
righty.
are the highlight. Oh, is it called?
Moringa. Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
Moringa. There
Okay.
you go. Thank you, Veronica. That's exactly what it's called. Moringa. I just couldn't. I know it started with an M. I'm going, what's the name?
Yeah, my nephew takes that. That's supposed to be very, very good.
Oh, yeah. I think it's an African plant. And then they had it in Jamaica also. Like I've heard that, and I can't prove it, but I've heard that people with cancer have taken that thing and it healed them. So that's what I heard.
Okay.
So
Yeah, okay. Well,
yeah,
it probably, anything to boost your immune system is a good thing
yeah,
because we just have to make sure that our bodies are strong in
yeah,
order to fight off. And you got to wear mask. Oh, here's a big thing before we get started. So everybody's been quarantined we know the idiots that went traveling. Sorry,
yeah,
people, but selfishness is what it is. They
yeah,
did the traveling during the Christmas and the Thanksgiving, right?
yeah.
But so now we thought we were getting that under control, but we weren't because there are underground parties going on with up to
Mm,
600 young people that are going
mm.
into these warehouses downtown LA and out in
Yeah,
the Valley and the Beverly Hills area. And
yeah.
they're having these parties, and then the police are having to come and break them up.
Hmm. And
So
then
this is
they're leaving with Corona.
and they're leaving with corona, going home and with their elderly family members and infecting them.
That is crazy.
It's
That is
just
crazy.
crazy.
Crazy
So
and
before we
selfish.
so crazy and selfish.
Mhm.
I just want to do a shout out to the family of Cecil McClin. He was on our show back in April, and he passed from coronavirus. He was a
Yeah,
member, a very strong member at the LA South Chamber.
yeah,
And, you remember when he came on our
yeah,
show,
yeah.
he was just an amazing guy.
Our condolences to him and his family, man. It's such a shock when you hear good people like those that they're here today and they're just gone tomorrow. It's like,
Just
wow,
gone.
what happened?
Yeah, just that's really sad. And also, we lost Cecily Tyson last night.
Yes, Cecily Tyson at 96 years old, man. She was one of the trailblazers for African Americans in the movie business. Of course, you all know that
Mhm.
Cecily Tyson, she is Whitney Houston's aunt, right? Right? Cecily Tyson.
No, that one's, no, no. No, she wasn't the aunt. That's the other one. The one that she's a singer.
Dionne Warwick
Oh,
was the
wow.
aunt. Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. Yeah,
She
yeah,
she she
yeah.
is the aunt
Cecily Tyson. Yeah, she was the aunt of
of Whitney.
who was the aunt? Whitney
Whitney.
Houston, yes,
Yeah.
but Cecily Tyson is just an amazing actress
Okay.
that had given so much to, the art world, and she will definitely be missed, but, she was 96 years old, but she was still working, and she was
Yeah.
still active, and she
Yeah.
was still doing well.
Right.
So, we send our condolences and our, heartfelt blessings to their families, and
Yeah.
they're gonna be greatly missed.
Right.
So with that, Mr. Gilbert, we want
Yeah.
to talk about
We want to talk
being
about
bank loan ready.
bank loan ready, and we want to really get our small, because no one teaches small businesses how to become bank loan ready. Really what they do is they have a series of these hodgepodge classes, but none of them is really catered specifically towards bank loan readiness. So that's what
Right.
we're going to go over today. My co-host Crystal Mitchell and I today, we are going to do this, and we're going to hold your hands. We're going to do it step by step and show you guys how to do this. Now, we're going to do it from my um how do
Small
you say
Biz
this?
Pro.
We're gonna do it from Small Biz Pro, but I want to call it my patent pending proprietary. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay, that's
My
the word.
my proprietary software, Small
Meaning
Biz
don't
Pro.
steal it.
That means that's right. That means don't steal it. Don't
Okay.
steal the concept. So, Crystal, since you have the shared screen thing on your side, do you want to just go straight to smallbizpro.net on the website, and then we can do it that way? We're going to do it
All righty.
together so you guys can see how to become bank loan ready, what lenders are looking for. Now,
All right. So hold on. Let me pull it up.
many of you small businesses, you have your finances, your tax return, your balance sheet, which is good, but that's not all that's required when you're doing bank loan readiness. So we want to take you guys through that process. You'll never forget it, and you'll be forever
Okay.
grateful that you tune into the show today. So Crystal, while Crystal
All
is
righty. So hold on.
while Crystal is going
Just
to that
pulling up.
site, okay, there it is. It's coming up. So we want to show you,
So
and
so tell
it.
me,
Go ahead, Crystal.
so what are some of the things when you're talking to your clients, Gilbert, even before they get to the Small Biz Pro, what are you talking to them about in preparation? And actually, if they're bank loan ready, then they should be. If they're business loan ready, then they should be bank loan ready. And
Yeah,
then definitely, if they're contract ready, they should
yeah,
have everything in place, right?
exactly, exactly. So one of the key things when you go to smallbizpro.net, you will see three orange buttons. One is business readiness, contract readiness, and bank loan readiness. Those are the three readiness tools that you need in your business. No matter what type of business you are, those are the three tools you need. Each one of them measure you on a series of different requirements. So we're going to walk you guys through those requirements and show you exactly what you need to do, what your score should be, and how to get your score right. So that's what we'll do today, Crystal and I. And and
Uh,
and just so you know, you can
I'm
go
trying
to
to get it. I'm
YouTube.
getting it to come up.
You can go to YouTube or Facebook and subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button. And so you can receive regular notifications from us whenever we come up with any new classes, new courses, new information that can help you with your business. So just make sure you go there and you subscribe. Um,
There
so
we
there
go.
we are. There we are. We're at smallbizpro.net. What a wonderful looking site. I love this site.
Are you a bit biased?
I have no connections with this site whatsoever. This is a beautiful
Okay.
site. So we're at Small Biz Pro. So this is where you're going to go in order to do your assessment to become bank loan ready. So Crystal, if you could just scroll down a little bit to the middle of the
Oh, do
page.
I need to sign in?
No,
Oh,
you
no,
don't.
no.
No, you don't need to sign in. Just scroll down.
Okay. All right, hold on. So I'm going to scroll down.
Yeah, keep going. Keep
Keep
going.
going. All righty.
There you go. So Crystal is going to do an assessment right now. So we're going to follow through with Crystal, and whatever she does is what you guys should be doing. By the way, if you guys want to do this assessment afterwards, you can go to smallbizpro.net, and we'll type the website
Small,
in.
let me put it down here. Small Biz is pro.net.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
And that will take you to the website,
Okay.
smallbizpro.net. Uh,
Okay.
All right. So now Crystal is going to click on the orange button that says bank loan readiness. Very good. So when you click on bank loan readiness, it will take you to this screen. Now, this screen is going to be asking you for basic information on your business. It's a very easy screen for you to fill out. So we're going to go through it. So first, it's asking you to enter your company name. So Crystal.
Before we go on, thanks, Greg, for popping in. Greg says he's got to go. He'll see us next Friday. Happy Friday.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Appreciate you coming in, my brother. See you next Friday.
Okay, so now we're here at the let's get started. So I would put a company information.
Yeah, just put your company name.
All righty. I'm going to use RBD.
There you go. And then you want to select your legal. After you put your name, you put your email and your phone number, then you want to put your legal structure.
Okay, so RBD is actually none of these, but
Just select one of those, anyone.
we'll make it a LLC.
LLC.
We'll
And
do other.
right. So industry to go to other, and for organization you can put Buchanan and Associates, so that I will get part of the results, so I can analyze your result with you and show you how to improve your score. So at the next section it says your enter your industry. So Crystal is put in marketing for her, and then now she's going to click continue.
Mm-hmm.
And that will take her to the screen where she is now going to answer some questions. So this is where the real assessment is. So the first question is, do you have your filed article of incorporation or organization? Now, if you are a corporation, it's going to be articles of incorporation. If you're an LLC, it's going to be article of organization. So if you have that, you check yes.
Okay.
Do you have your business license? If you have it, check yes.
And is that so? It doesn't matter. So if whatever city you're working,
Yeah,
your business is in, whether it's
yeah,
LA City, Santa
right,
Monica,
right,
Hawthorne, Inglewood, you should have registered your business and have a
right.
business license with that city.
Exactly. And just so you know, some people will say, oh, I'm doing business online, so I don't need a business license. Yes, you do. As long as you're in business, you need a business license.
Okay. All right.
So the third question will be, do you have a federal tax ID number? The answer should be yes. And if you don't have a federal tax ID number and you're using your social security number, you need to stop doing that and go get your federal tax ID number tomorrow.
And where do they go to get that, Gilbert?
To get your federal tax ID number, you go to irs.gov or org. Is it org or gov?
Gov.
Gov. irs.gov.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Okay.
And then question number 4, do you have collateral to pledge as assets, building, equipment, accounts receivable? If you have those, you check yes. If you don't have it, you check no.
And that assets could be so the building that you're purchasing, that your
Yeah.
business is
Well,
actually housed in,
well,
possibly.
if you already have the building, if you already have a building, you
Yes.
can use that as asset.
Right. And then also any equipment that your company owns.
Right. Any equipment, if you have real estate, like you have a rental property, you can use those as assets to collateral to pledge.
and also your accounts receivable. So if you have
Right.
invoices that are outstanding that
Yes.
have not been paid, that you have set up terms with the customer that you've done business with,
Right.
those are assets because they know that they're going to be eventually coming into your company, and so those are your assets.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
would say yes.
Okay. And then the next one is, do you have a business plan? Now, many small businesses, they have a business plan, but it's in their head. It's not written. So if it's in your head, it doesn't count. So you can't put yes because it's in your head. It has to be a written business plan. So
Okay.
so you put yes if you have it written. If you don't have it written, put no.
And if you don't have a business plan, there are a number of organizations that have ongoing workshops. I think Vermont Slauson has one going on right now. The
Yes.
Women's Business Center has a business plan course going on right now, and these are
Yes.
free opportunities for you. And
Exactly.
also, I believe GLAC has a business plan class going on,
Right.
and
Or the SBDCs, they've got workshops that can help you with your business plan as well.
okay, and also Pacific Coast Regional Center, they have a
Pacific,
business
yeah,
class.
Pacific Coast Regional. Some of your chambers, so if you're with the Latino Chamber, they can help you, the LA Latino Chamber of Commerce, or if you're with the Black Business Association or GLAC, Greater African American Chamber of Commerce, or any of those chambers, they can help you. They can provide.
And aren't you doing the business model canvas with someone?
Yes, I'm doing the business model canvas with GLAC right now. So when we get to business model, I will tell them about that part.
Okay, so now
So
next.
number six will be, do you have a Dun and Bradstreet number for your business? That answer should be yes. Many small businesses don't because they don't think they need it, or they're confused about how to obtain a Dun and Bradstreet number. They think it's probably going to cost them $600 to $1,000 to get that number. No, that number is for free, and anyone who tries to sell you that number, you want to report them. They're not supposed to be selling you that number. That number is free. So,
And the Dun and Bradstreet is very much like it's called your DNB
yeah,
number, but it's very much like the business's FICA tracking, like your
yeah,
FICA score for your personal credit number
exactly.
reporting. The Dun and Bradstreet is like that, and I know in my business, Gilbert, I have actually helped individuals turn their whole financial situation around, mainly because I started recording their Dun and Brad, because you're giving all the information. You're
Yeah,
giving the vendors, you're
yeah,
doing everything, and
right,
then just making sure that the bills are being paid on
right.
time,
And,
and so that has
and
helped them.
and sometimes when you're going to a supplier, if you're buying products or services from a supplier, they check you out first, and sometimes they run your Dun and Bradstreet report just to see whether you're a good risk or a bad risk. So that's a good way. Now we're going to put another website address up there for them, Crystal. We're going to put dnb.com. So
Oh, so it's D.
www.d, the letter D as in David, N as in Nancy, and B as in Bob.com. So if yeah,
DNB.com.
yeah,
Okay.
dnb.com. And
Okay.
also if you're registered in Small Biz Pro, all of these links are in Small Biz Pro. So when you go to Small Biz Pro and you log in and you go to the dashboard on the left side where it says there's a blue button says registration, you click on that, you can just register for your Dun and Bradstreet right there, and you don't have to worry about remembering any of these website addresses.
Oh, that's fantastic, Gilbert.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I do a lot to help small businesses to make their lives easier. They just need to be involved in this program so we can help them out. S-
Okay. All
s-
righty.
So the next one is number
So,
7. Number 7 says, do you
okay.
have a business credit history report? That's a Dun and Bradstreet number, or if you have an Experian report for your business or any of those. Now, that report, if you have a report, you check yes. If you don't, you put no. That report, what it does, it creates a business history for you. And that number is anywhere from zero, well, not zero, 1 to 100. That's how that score is. See, with your FICO, this is different than your FICO. The FICO scores you anywhere from 300 to 850 on your personal credit. So if your personal credit is, say about 690, then they consider you a good risk, right? But with your business credit, it has to be anywhere between 76 points to 100. 76 to 100 means that you're very low risk and you're a good prospect for them to give credit to. If you're 1 to 10, anywhere from 1 to 10, you're high risk and you're very bad investment. So banks really don't want to take chances
So
on
so
businesses like
one
that.
to ten is
1 to 10, that means you're very high risk,
so
and
1 to 10 is what?
1 to 10 is very high risk, and it's right
Okay.
it's right there. That's the next question. Number 8. Number 8
Okay.
says your business credit
Okay.
score. Yeah. So if your business credit score is anywhere between
Okay.
76 and 100, then you're a very good risk. You're low risk and you're good investment. But if you're from 1 to 10, then it's going to be a very high risk and a very risky investment, and many lenders will stay away from you. So right there.
Okay.
So
So
let's
if it's
say,
above 75,
yeah. So if you've never done it before, then you
okay.
probably should answer no for that because you don't know what the score is. So that tells you you have some work to do to go find out
Okay.
what that score is. And when you answer these questions on
Okay.
this
All
assessment,
righty.
you want to be as honest as possible. So if you don't know the answer, you check no, and then you go research it and try to figure it out and try to correct it. Okay. So number
Oh,
nine,
okay.
number nine,
Alfred,
Alfred has a question. He
go
said,
ahead.
with so many struggling businesses, do you need to repair your business credit? Yes. You definitely, if you have the money and the resources to correct or repair your credit, you should try to do it right now. Because even though we've got this pandemic and lenders know that we're struggling and going through that, they really don't care. Just remember, these guys, these guys say they're here to help small businesses, but they're really not. They just like to say that because it sounds good. You know when they have those Miss America contests and they say, "So tell me what you would do to save the world," and people will talk all kinds of fancy stuff just so they can look good. But at the end of the day, they're not going to do it. That's what these lenders do. They talk all this stuff, but they're not really here to help small businesses. So I just want you guys to know, it's us against them. We got to prepare ourselves so that they don't discard of us. So that's,
But I do think, Gilbert,
yeah.
I do think that for far as business owners, because we do know that there's going to be some definitely issues with our credit, both our personal and our business credit. With these are some of the things that we should be reaching out to our politicians that are
Yes.
supporting us, as opposed to be fighting for us, to
Hmm.
make sure that what's going to happen in this recovery period
Yes.
that we're in,
Yes.
that particular topic is addressed. And every time I get an opportunity to do so,
Yes.
um, that's what I do. I ask them that question. So, what are we going to do about the credit that's going to have to be
Yes.
restored on the backside of this?
I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's why I give you a lot of kudos, Crystal, for what you're doing on your program, the weekly briefing that you host every
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. where you bring in all these community leaders and bank resources and economic resources representatives, and you talk about challenges that small businesses are having. And this is certainly one of the challenges that small businesses are having with their credit. Because if there's no money coming in for us to pay bills, obviously our credit is going to be bad. You know?
Obviously.
Right. So they need to figure out a way, instead of giving us those loans, they need to start giving us grants. And
Exactly.
that's what Alfred is saying here in his message. He says, "Well, thank you. I'm going for grants." So
Well, that is the bottom line, and I
yeah,
think I do know there's a couple of new loans out there, but it's really more for those businesses that can afford to have a loan, right?
yes,
Even though the interest rates are down at 3.5, which is
yeah,
really really small. I mean,
yeah,
really really a good rate.
yeah,
And in some cases, our minority-owned businesses wouldn't normally get loans, period. But
yeah,
there are some opportunities, and
yes,
the requirements are a little bit more lax than traditionally.
right,
So if you can apply for those loans, it's not a bad idea
right,
to go after those, especially if you're going to be needing to pivot or transition or grow your business. But
right.
for the small business that may have some challenges with their credit and so forth, then yes, grants are a better option for you.
Yeah, definitely. And even with grants, there are some of these questions that they're going to be asking you also, and they expect you to have a positive answer on that. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, you're viewing or you're listening to the Business Zone with Crystal
Crystal.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Now, this show is on every Friday from 3 to 4. And if you want to get regular materials from us or updates, you want to just go ahead and subscribe. You can view the show on YouTube or Facebook. So please click the subscribe button so we can send you information. Crystal, as a maid, just so you know who Crystal is. If you don't know who she is, Crystal is the one who does forensics on your bookkeeping, on your accounting. She she's a superstar when it comes to that. Okay. So you want to have someone like her on your side to help you out. She teaches a lot of classes on how to get bank loan ready, how to get your books in order. And with 1099s and all of that coming up, she can help you guys with that. So I just want to put that out there for you guys to know. So,
Exactly. Oh, and then while you're speaking of that, they've pushed the date back for 1099s to March 1st.
oh, okay. Very good. Very good. So this is our new administration at work for us.
That's our new. Well, all of the dates have been pushed back because we're in the middle of a pandemic,
Yeah.
and I will be sharing that information at the very end of this show today.
Very good, very good. And just so you guys know, even though we're in this pandemic, doesn't mean that you shouldn't know where your documents are. And that's why you have this system, Small Biz Pro, in front of you to help you guys to store this documents so you can access them in seconds. Okay? So keep that in mind. So the next question, Crystal,
So
number
Gilbert said,
9.
"Don't be getting
Yeah,
lax."
don't be getting lax because they tell
Okay,
you
I'm sorry.
that March 1st is they push it back to March 1st. You want to make sure the documents are there. Don't get lax at all.
Right tail. Don't be getting lazy on us, huh?
Exactly. So number 9, question number 9 on your assessment. It says, do you have an operating agreement notarized? That is, if you are a partnership or LLC. So if you are an LLC, which Crystal is, if you are a single partner LLC, you don't need an operating agreement. But if you have a partner, an operating partner, then you want to definitely do that. Okay? So make
Okay.
sure
Alrighty.
you have an operating agreement. Always remember, if you have someone else in the business who was sharing ownership with you, you need to have an operating agreement, because when you go to banks, they want to see that. So make sure you have it ahead of time to show the lender that, hey, I'm on top of my game. I know that you guys need this partnership agreement. Plus, we need it for ourselves because it's going to tell us what our roles are, what our compensation level is, and all of those things. So,
Okay.
so Crystal check no for number 9. Number 10, do you have a valid statement of information? Now, a statement of information is a document that's issued by your Secretary of State, depending on which state you're in. So if you're in the state of California, Nevada, Arizona, New York, wherever you are, if you are a corporation or an LLC, you're going to need to have a statement of information. So if you are one of those legal structures, but you don't have one, you need to get one. In the state of California, it only costs about $20. So
And
get
you
one
have to
today.
and if you have one, you need to go back and check because they're renewable every 24 months, I believe, right?
Yes, yes.
And they don't necessarily and this is both for profit and nonprofit. What is happening here? They don't necessarily let you know that
No,
it's due.
they don't notify you. They
They
don't
don't
notify you
notify you.
because that's their way of charging you late fees and penalties. So just remember that.
So you should check in to see if your statement of information or put it on a calendar. I
Yeah.
always tell my clients to put it on a calendar and when they've done it, and then to make sure it's kind of like in a particular file or something, and you get a notification within your email to let you know. But if
Well,
they have Small Biz Pro,
that's what I'm talking about. If you have Small Biz Pro, then you don't need to put it on any calendar or anything because Small Biz Pro will automatically remind you 90 days before this expires that, hey, your statement of information is going to expire in 90 days. What do you want to do? And then you can take it from there. So having this system, Small Biz Pro, is going to be very important to all small businesses because small businesses are very busy and they're good at their craft, but it's not good at managing the paperwork. So that's why the system is here to help you. So
okay.
number 11 on your assessment, and just so you know, for those of you who are just tuning in, Crystal is using her company as an example to do this assessment to see how bank loan ready she is. So let's go through this. Number 11, do you know your NAICS codes for your industry? So every small business should know their NAICS codes. You may not know the numbers in your head, but they should be written down and documented on your capability statement or in your company. So you know your NAICS code, Crystal?
Not offhand.
Okay. So I will tell you what your NAICS code, one of your NAICS code is, Crystal, because you and I are in professional services and I do some of the things you do.
Okay.
So your NAICS code is 541611.
Okay.
541611. And
Okay.
that means that you provide administrative management services, and it could also be marketing research services. Okay?
Okay, well then that will work. Alfred has a question.
Okay. Alfred, what's your question? Would it be better to kill the business, kill the business as to upgrade infrastructure and start all over, a new startup? No. I think wherever you are in your business right now, you need a superstar consultant and business coach like Crystal or I to really help you to revive that business the right way. That's what we do. We take businesses. That's why they call me the small business paramedic. I breathe life back into businesses that are dying, that are dying and need to be resuscitated, right? So
Is
that's
that
what
why
we
they
do.
call you the small business paramedic?
That's why they call me the small business paramedic. I breathe life back into your business. So no, Alfred, you don't need to kill the business. Let's put it on life support right now and start nurturing it. Okay?
And one of the reasons you don't want to start as a startup is because you have no traction as a startup business.
Good.
You want to be able to use your
History.
existing business, even though it may not be properly structured.
Yeah.
You do have some traction if you've
Yeah.
been earning revenues, or you've been generating revenue stream, then it's better for it to be resurrected
Right.
than to start over as a startup, because that makes it much more difficult for you to get loans or any sort of support if you are a brand new business. So
And
that would be one of the reasons.
it shows that you have a history too. And
Yes.
many lenders, the first thing they ask you, how long you've been in business. If the answer you give them is anywhere between 0 and 3 years, that means you're a startup. Startup is considered anything between 0 and 3 years. Okay, so if you were to restart the business from scratch right now, you're going to be considered a startup. So, and if you've been in business for 5 years or beyond, or 4 years and beyond, then you're not a startup anymore. You are an existing business. So that's how you want to look at this. So take credit for the time you've been in business. Don't give it up, and let us resuscitate you.
Yes. Resuscitation.
So the next question on the survey, the assessment is number 12. It says, is your current ratio greater than 1.25? And if you don't know what that ratio is, when you look on your balance sheet, well, Small Biz Pro can calculate this for you automatically. So if you have the Small Biz Pro account, you can go into the cash flow management tab, and then it will once you put the information from your balance sheet on there, it will automatically calculate. But just so you know, to calculate your current ratio, you want to take the total current assets and divide it by your total current liabilities. That's how you get your current ratio, right? So it will tell you if it's 1.25 or better. If it's 1.25 or better, that's good. If it's less than 1.25, you have a problem with lenders. So keep that in mind.
And what does that 1.25 represent, Gilbert?
1.25 means that for every dollar that you bring into the company, they're allowing you to spend your expenses. They're allowing you to spend 1.25 going out of the business. So you bring in a dollar, they allow you to spend $1.25 going out. And if that's how it is in your business, then you're okay with them. They'll tell you that your ratio is in a good standing. But if you're bringing in 1.25 and then you got to spend more than that, then you've got some problems.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And then quick ratio number 13 is the same thing, it's very similar, but if the difference is they are excluding inventory and prepaid expenses from that calculation. Okay? So again, if your quick ratio is 1.25 or above, that's a good thing, but if it's less than that, then you have a problem.
Okay. And I also I worked with a lender for a client of mine, and one of the things he had us do when I was putting together putting together the balance sheet was, and also the P&L, that if there were some expenses that they had paid, like they had done some renovation, and
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't normally part of their day-to-day operation,
Mm-hmm.
I he suggested removing those from that calculation because they were not going to be coming.
Regular
They were one-time
expenses.
expenses. Yeah,
Yeah,
that they were one-off, so they
yeah,
really weren't part of the everyday
right,
expenses
right,
for running a business. So if
exactly.
you've done any renovations, if you've anything that's a one time, you had a new attorney, you've added some new fees. Uh, that is taking place one time, then those numbers, so those dollar amounts don't have to be included in this calculation.
Right, right. And that's something you guys want to keep in mind also. Okay?
Mhm,
That's a
mhm,
very good point, Crystal.
mhm.
So the next question on the assessment, number 14, it says, do you have your business and personal tax return for the last 3 years? So if you've been in business for 3 years and beyond, you should have that. Now, we're not saying if you have it but didn't file it. If you have it and didn't file it, doesn't count. But if you have it and you did file it, then that's what we're looking for. Okay, you have to file it. All right, and just so you know, even if you owe money to the IRS, as long as you set up an agreement with them to pay, then this is good. This is a good standing right here. All right, so that's how you do that part, number 14. Number 15, do you have your business financial statements? That's your balance sheet and profit and loss for the last 3 years. Again, small businesses, this is the part of your business that you hand over to your bookkeeper and your accountant and you don't pay attention to it. I want you to start paying attention to that part, because when you go to a lender or even a grantor, trying to get a grant, they're going to ask you questions about your balance sheet and your profit and loss. And you got to know a little something about it so you can at least tell them that you
a little something.
a little something about it. So you can say, yeah, I did file it. Yeah, I have that. And if they ask you to produce it, then you can produce it on the spot. What you don't want is when they ask you to produce it, oh, you know what? Let me get back to you because I got to go talk to my bookkeeper or my accountant. Then they're going to think, you're floozy. You don't know what you're doing. So if you have Crystal as your bookkeeper or your accountant, make sure you and her discuss these documents before you go into the lender, because they're not going to ask Crystal about the balance sheet and the profit and loss. They're going to ask you because you're the owner of the business. So keep that in mind. So that's number 15. Number 16, are you an authorized signer on your company's bank account? If you're the owner, you got to be that person. If you are one of the partners, then you want to make sure that you have authority to sign. And you can do that through agreements. If you're a corporation, there is a document called board resolution. Board resolution is a document that you use to sign in your first board of directors meeting minutes to show that you have authority to sign checks within the company and sign the bank account. If you don't have that authority, you're not the person to be applying for loans, okay? Next one, number 17. Do you have a filed fictitious business name? Now, some corporation or LLCs, they still go ahead and file a fictitious business name, even though they're a corporation or LLC. Now, that is required sometimes for certifications. So if you may see a company, even though they're a corporation or an LLC, they'll still file their fictitious business name. Or if they have other businesses underneath, other affiliated businesses underneath that one primary company's name. So that's something you want to think about. Number 18, is your debt to asset ratio less than 25%? Now, many small businesses don't know. They have no clue whether it's above or below because they don't do the finances, so they don't know that. So here's how you find that out. You talk to your bookkeeper. If Crystal is your bookkeeper, you talk to her. Or if someone else is your bookkeeper or accountant, you want to know, because these are questions lenders are going to ask you to test. They're going to ask you some of these questions. They may not need to answer, but they ask you this just to see if you're on top of your game, to see if you're on top of your finances. I mean, as a business consultant or a business coach, I can ask any of these questions. I can tell whether you guys are on top of your game or not. But that's for me and Crystal to do. That's for us to do to you, just to test you and get you prepared. But for a lender to ask you those questions and you're not prepared, then that's a big strike against you. So keep that in mind. So the next question on the list is number, what's that, 19, Crystal?
That would be 19.
Okay, and what does it say?
Hold on, I'm not sure why we got. It says, let me make that bigger. Something went weird. It says, do you have your company's 4-year profit and loss projections?
Okay, beautiful. So again, if you're running your business, you should have some level of projections as to how much sales you want to make this year, how much you want to make next year, and the year after that. Okay, you should have a 4-year projection. If you don't know how to do it, again, get with your bookkeeper or your accountant, and that person can guide you. Crystal knows how to do this stuff because she does it every day with her eyes closed. She knows how to do it. Now, in Small Biz Pro, if you don't know what the projection looks like, in Small Biz Pro, there are some sample documents and templates in there. So under the cash flow management tab, you scroll down to the bottom and you'll see all of these sample documents. Number 20, do you have
Okay.
your company's 12-month statement of cash flow? If you've never done a statement of cash flow before, again, talk to your bookkeeper. But you should have one to show how much money you anticipate coming into the business over the next 12 months, how much you anticipate going out of the business. Your inflow should be higher than your outflow. If your outflow is higher than your inflow, there is an I word in business that you don't ever want to have associated with you. That I word is insolvency. That means you're insolvent. Insolvent means you can't pay your bill. You're going to file bankruptcy and they're going to lock you up. No, they're not going to lock you up. But
They're not gonna lock you up, but it's gonna be a little challenging.
it's going to be a little challenging because you can't pay your bills. And if you can't pay your bills, guess what? And if you have employees, you can't pay the employees. Then that's when EDD comes in and they start giving you a hard time because you can't owe your employees. In the state of California, you cannot owe your employees. You can go to prison for that. Keep that in mind. All right.
Right.
Number 21. We're getting close to the end now. Number 21, do you have a completed personal financial statement? That's something that you all need to have, and you should have it for at least the last year. You're going to need that for lending, and you're going to also need it for certification. So might as well, it's good for you to have it. If you don't know how to get one of those, again, in Small Biz Pro, on the cash flow management, you go to the bottom of the page, you'll see sample documents in there. You can use those, or you can go to sba.gov and type personal financial statement, and you will get sample ones there too. You can use those. Number 22, do you have 2 or more credit references? You always want to have credit references. And credit references can be gathered from your clients that you do business with or your suppliers. So anyone who extend credit to you, you can use that as a credit reference. So let's say Crystal is a professional services business or she does marketing and she has an account with Office Depot. Office Depot gave her a credit card. She can use Office Depot as a reference because she purchased items from them and she pays them back within 30 days. So they will be happy to say, yeah, we've got a good credit reference on her because she pays her bills on time. So that's one credit reference. And if you have another creditor supply you with materials or other items, you can use them as well. But you want to have at least 3 of those. Next item, number 23. Do you have a signed board of directors resolution? Remember we talked about that before? The board resolution is a document that ensures that you are authorized to sign checks and sign the company's bank account. So if you're a corporation. If you're a corporation, then that's what's required. If you're an LLC, you don't need a board resolution. If you have if you're a single owner, you don't need a board resolution. But if you've got partners, then you may need an agreement, an operating agreement that speaks to that, to say you have authority to sign the bank account. And then finally, on the assessment, number 24, it says, does your company have a business line of credit? Now, every small business should have a business line of credit. And a lot of you are going to say, I don't need a loan. A line of credit is not really a loan. is money that's extended to you that you pay for only when you use it. So it's giving you leverage. That's what it's doing, giving you leverage. So if you get a contract and you need to start tomorrow, you have access to money that you can use to hire people or buy material for a project. But it puts you in a position where you can access funds without applying for it. So every small business should have a business line of credit, whether it's 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. You want to have that because you never know when you're going to need to leverage some funds. And you don't want to wait until you get the opportunity to try to get the funds, because that's when lenders will say, we're not going to give you a loan, or no, we're not going to give you a line of credit. So you want to think about this before. So now that you've got the 24 questions in your assessment completed for the business, for the bank loan readiness, you're going to click that button down below that says submit for my results. So you click that button and see what your results are. So here, Crystal clicks her results, and on one side, there are two parts to your result. On the left side, it says your minimum readiness score. And on the right side, it says your overall readiness score. So the minimum will be that first 16 questions that you were asked that were bolded. The texts were bolded. That's your readiness. And Crystal, if you can just go back one bit so I can show them back.
Okay. Do I go arrow back?
No, yeah, use the arrow back button.
Okay.
Okay,
Alrighty.
there. So if you scroll up a little bit,
scroll up
just a little bit. All right there. Back down a little bit. Back down. Down. Oh, right there.
It shows the differences between the bold.
Exactly.
Okay.
So from 1 to 16, you notice all of those questions are bolded. That's because they are your required questions. If those you're supposed to score 100% on, you're supposed to have all of those to prove readiness. Okay. And then from 17 down to 24, those are supplemental questions. Those are what kind of back up your deficiency in the first part of it. So from 1 to...
So if I switch these over, then that would be your requirements, right? And that would change that score, right?
Yeah, that will change that score. But I want you to put it back to where it was so I can show them this, and then I can show them when it's done correctly 100%. So go back down and hit the submit button again. Submit. Okay. So it will take you back to 88 and 88. So now you know your score on the left, that's your minimum required score. The minimum required score should be 100% because you should have 100% of those documents. If you don't have 100%, that's fine too. If you scroll down, Crystal, okay, right here it says to be deemed loan ready, participants must complete all required questions with a yes answer. We encourage you to schedule a free consultation with your Small Biz Pro consultant, or in order to be coached on how to improve your loan readiness scorecard to become loan ready, call this number and or you can email. So if you score low, it shows you how we can help you to improve your numbers. All right. So because Crystal didn't get 100% on the required question, that's why she's at 88%. Now, excuse me. Now, you've got two orange buttons on the right. The first one says email my results. So you can email that result to whomever you want. You can email it to yourself, or you can email it to your bookkeeper or your accountant. So click on that button that says email my result, Crystal. The first, click on that. So, and then see it has your email address there. So if you can click that, it will send you the result. But if you want to send it to somebody else, close this window. You you can click it again and put another person's email address in there, and it will, like your bookkeeper or accountant, and
Okay.
it, or
Okay.
your consultant or whomever, and it will send you
Mm-hmm.
there.
Okay.
Then click the button to the right that says print my
Print.
results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you print the result, click cancel. Click cancel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See, this is what you're going to print. So this is going to be your record to show what your assessment was. So it tells you the score on the top, that you score 88 required and 88 overall. And then you can scroll down, and then all of the no answers is what you go over with your consultant to say, okay, let's convert these into yeses. Because
Ah.
if you convert those into yeses, then you'll get the 100%. Because
Okay.
let's say, for example, one of the no answer is I don't have a Dun and Bradstreet number. Then you and that person can work on getting a Dun and Bradstreet number.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
excellent.
yeah. So that's how this works, and it's amazing. Now, if you want to see the 100% part of it, Crystal, just go to the back button again. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll click on it.
Oh, it's happening here.
Okay, it should go back now. There it
Oh,
is. All
okay.
right. So
And then
turn all the bolded questions into yeses. All of them in yeses. Scroll down.
okay.
Scroll down.
Um
Okay, there.
and,
So you're so go down to the bottom, click submit, and this is what happened when you have 100%. See that? Bam. When you get a
nice.
hundred
Okay.
percent, it's a congratulations. You successfully completed 15 of 15 of your basic readiness requirements. Congratulations, you've achieved basic readiness. You see that? So that's what it does, and it makes you feel good about this because you're going, oh, good. Now I got my basic readiness. Now I'm ready to take on the bankers. You know. Now I'm ready to go. I got everything that they need. So this is how the system works, man, and it's amazing because it prepares you and it's free. You don't have to pay for it.
Awesome. That's the good part.
Yeah.
So I put in the chat room, Gilbert. So if you want to find out if your business is bank loan ready, then they actually can go over to your website to the smallbizpro.net
Yeah.
and find out if your business is bank loan ready.
Yes, definitely. And if you're not, just call Crystal and I, and we'll walk you through the process and show you how to get bank loan ready. And again, like I said, Crystal is a superstar. She knows how to make things work for you.
Well, at least forensically, I can help you make sure you got your accounting records, because that's the first level, is making sure that your financial structure is strong. And
Yes.
you can't be strong. Your business can't be strong if you don't understand how your revenue comes into your business and how the revenue goes out of the business, and making sure that you're tracking and have accessibility to financial statements and reports that will tell you the true nature of what's happening in your business. And then once you have that, then making sure all those other components are in place, and ready to go and at a finger's tip. So the other part of this program right here, Gilbert, is the fact that once you are, and if you're using this program on a regular basis, then those same documents that lenders and other entities going to ask for, they're stored in this program, right?
Yes, yes, it's stored in the program so you guys can access it, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this system, Small Biz Pro. So not only are you able to do the assessment, but you can also go in and build your back office so you can store all these documents that's needed. So when you go to a lender and they ask you, so Miss Jones, I don't see your balance sheet here for 2018. Sure, not a problem. You go right in, you access the document, you click on email and just email it to them in seconds. They're going to go, wow, you're prepared. I'm amazed. I told you that the SBA called me 2 weeks ago, right? Because they gave me one of those loans. I think it's an idle loan or whatever. And they
Okay.
said, oh, we need a copy of your insurance, sir. Can you send it to us in 3 days? I said, I can send it to you now in seconds. Do you want it? She said, yes. So I sent it to her in like 3 seconds. She said, oh my God, I'm impressed. I can't believe that you have this readily available. I said, Small Biz Pro, baby. Small Biz Pro.
So there you have it, people. Yes, this is why you want to go out and you want to reach out to Gilbert. His contact information is there, and you also want to go and sign up for the smallbizpro.net because it will help you become bank loan ready, business ready, and contract
Contract
ready.
ready. Yep.
You want to make sure, let's start 2021 off on the right foot. And
Yes.
this is a good time. We're not doing we're not operating at 100% of our capacity, but this is a good time to make sure that your business is. And the other part, Gilbert, that this is the silver lining of COVID.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's in the same position right now.
Yes.
And you kind of had an opportunity to do a do-over, or you won't feel so uncomfortable that things are not together, because
Yes.
there's a lot of people who don't have things together right now. So it's a
Exactly.
perfect time
Yes.
for you to get it together and be
Yes.
ready and
That
be
is
prepared
that is
for the
so true.
future.
That is so true. So don't feel badly. Use this as a good opportunity to get in compliance with all the bank loan readiness, all the contract readiness, and all the business readiness requirements. So we're here to help you guys. We're here to help.
Right. So you have been tuned in to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. Let me put our caption back up with Crystal and Gilbert. And we are here to make sure that you are doing business and preparing your small business for success. And so reach out to us, and always come back every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock and be able to just whatever new information that we are providing for you. And you can find this video over at YouTube, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button there, and it will notify you every week when we are on air and when we're live.
That's
And thank
right.
goodness we only had we only had technical difficulties in the beginning part of
Yes. Yes.
of the show today.
Yes. The man was trying to cancel
So
our
so when I go in,
operation.
yeah, I tell you. So, but now I only have to go in and edit probably the very beginning where it was a little weird and sketchy, but that's okay.
Well, we can
So,
just do it
and
from
also, guys, tell us if you.
we can just do it from where we got
Mhm.
started with this class in session. That's it. And save a lot of time, right?
Now that I said we had no problems, all of a sudden we're gonna have problems.
I tell you, the man is listening. Oh man.
So with that, we're gonna sign off.
Yes, yes, yes. So you've been listening to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4, and you can reach us on YouTube Live or on Facebook Live. Just click the subscribe button so we can send you weekly notifications so you know who our guest is coming up. Just so you know, on February 19th, we've got a very special guest on the show, and we're having one of the chief executives from American Honda. He's going to tell you guys all about opportunities within American Honda and how you can prepare yourself, your small businesses, to get in and do business with American Honda. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. We're here to help you. Crystal?
And we have a great guest next week that's going to talk. We have a great guest next week that's going to be talking about finance and your personal finance and being prepared and building up your own personal portfolio. So we're excited about that. We have some other great guests coming up in February, which is Black History Month. So please tune in and go check out our archives on YouTube to listen to all and see all our other shows. We've been on the air we'll be 5 years this year.
Yep.
And so it only gets better. It only
Oh,
gets better.
only gets better. And if we want to thank you guys for staying with us for 5 years, because we've been offering and providing you guys with such great advice, coaching, and information, resources that will help you to improve your business. So that's great. Mr. Alfred Foster, you have a question. You said, I'm strongly considering moving businesswoman Accra, Ghana, from manufacturing advantages. Can I get some help? Sure, Crystal and I will be happy to sit with you and assess where you are and what you need, and provide you some coaching.
Right. And Alfred, I'm still trying to find that chemist. The person that had a recommendation, wasn't having the most favorable experiences, so that's why I did not refer that person to you. So still trying to work on finding that chemist for you. Anybody out there that's listening, if you're a chemist that works in the skincare with skincare products, by all means reach out to us and let us know that you exist, so we can do our little due diligence and then use you as a referral. Also, guys, hopefully this will work. I'm not quite so sure, but let's see, Gilbert. The business Recycling Black Dollars, we're building a digital Black mall so that we will know where all the Black businesses are, and we want
All
to make
right.
sure all businesses are listed in the guide. So reach out to us. You can reach out to me. My email address is in the chat room, and let me know that. Don't let me know. Send me your information so that I can send you the link and make sure that you're listed for free in the resource guide. So let's see, Gilbert, if it's going to actually work. Maybe not, because I think the signal's kind of crazy. So anyway, reach out to me. We want to make sure that's happening. And also next Saturday, February 6th, go over to Glow and Flow beauty supply store on
La Brea.
Centinela and La Brea. With their La Brea, they're having a promotional day, and for everything that you buy, 10%.
It's talking about, that's the app. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Crystal.
10% is the app, and 10% is going to be return to Recycling Black Dollars. We're helping market it, so I'll have information for you on that, and then you guys will get that. So anyway, you have been tuned in to the Business Zone with Crystal
And Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, I want to say thank you to Michael Hen, who is one of our newest subscribers. Michael was listening to the show or watching the show, and he decided to subscribe. So thank you, Michael, for subscribing to the Business Zone.
Oh, thank you, Michael. We appreciate it. Tell your friends. Bring more friends. And Gilbert, our show last week, I boosted our show last week. We have about 17,000 viewers.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. And
So
this
that
one
was last week's show.
this one should be 20,000 now, since we're walking them through the business loan readiness process. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. All righty, we are out of here, guys. So see you next week. Be safe. Wear your mask. Make sure you're social distancing. We want to get out of this pandemic environment that we're living in, and I specifically am really tired of losing friends and family. I've had, my niece's father died this week, and some real close friends of mine have died, and this is just ridiculous. So we can change this by just doing being responsible and being understanding that our lives are precious. So please mask up, wash your hands, and keep your distance from people. So have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
We're out.
And we are out. Let's see if it's going to play.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement.